2500.
Well, we brought you the top stories of 2011 on weeknights right here on CBC News. This week, we asked you to vote for your favorite.
And vote you did. Thousands of you answered the poll on our website. Here's our Trevor Dunn with your top Toronto news stories of 2011.
It's really hot.
The heat was on in 2011.
I imagine this is sort of what an oven feels like.
It was a sweltering summer that smashed records.
A tough start to the year.
2011 began with tragedy in the death of Toronto Police Sergeant Ryan Russell. The 35-year-old died in January after being run down by a stolen snowplow. His funeral brought the city to a standstill.
We are the 99%!
The Occupy movement hit Toronto in October, taking over St. James Park.
Back in the fall, there were tents everywhere. It was a mini village. The kitchen was right behind me. The library was right over there. And this gazebo, sort of the center of it all, was covered in signs and banners demanding, well, that wasn't so clear.
But what the protesters lacked in focus, they made up for in determination, squatting for over 5 weeks and begging the question, did it accomplish anything?
Well, I think they got their message out to people.
Felt like they were just hanging around.
At number 2, Rob Ford's first full year in office, and it was one to remember.
Let me just give you my little bit of advice now before you go.
From an early morning visit from a CBC comedy show to the all-night meetings.
We're not going to sit back and throw up our hands and do what the previous governments have done and increase taxes.
And your number 1 Toronto news story for 2011 is the death of Jack Layton. His life left a mark on Toronto, and so did his death in August, with a huge makeshift memorial at Nathan Phillips Square and a touching service at Roy Thompson Hall. Layton's legacy in Toronto will be here in 2012 and beyond.
All of the things that made Toronto a better place to be for everyone, a city where no one is left behind. That's what remind me of Jack.
Trevor Dunn, CBC News, Toronto.
Great story.
Yes, still to come. Many people are gearing up to ring in 2012, but can you throw a fun New Year's Eve